Welcome back to Doing the Most. I want to start off by saying thank you guys for the support last month. I stopped uploading like 2-3 weeks ago, and that's on me, but I just got a little bit carried away with family and stuff. I was a little busy. I wanted to talk about the All-Star game and just a bunch of different things. Like we saw Luka's first game, we saw a bunch of other things going on, but it's okay. We're about to ramp it up. It's the end of the NBA season, heading into the postseason. There's about 20 or so games left. Every team has a little bit differences here and there. So I want to talk about the teams that are hot right now, what's been going on. We'll look at the standings. We'll kind of actually take a look at if the playoffs started right now, who would play who. And we'll make some maybe predictions or talk about how some of these teams can improve their spots. If you're a fan of any of these teams, please let me know what you think and everything like that. We'll start off with the Eastern Conference and then move out west because of the time zones, right? East comes first, and I'm an East Coast head, so it's just cool like that. Plus, we got arguably the best team in the league, the hottest squad out there, the 9-in-a-row Cleveland Cavaliers, who played the Boston Celtics last night. What an absolute game. I'm actually going to react to that game on the More Most Ballin' channel, so if you want to check that out, the link is down below. I'm going to do my best to upload on all 4 channels this time around. So this podcast one, I got to lock in, step up, especially as we turn it up into the new... Like I said, the end of the year. The end of the year is where it gets real, where it gets serious. Plus, I plan to have some guests on from different teams, not players from different teams, but literally people, fans of other teams, so we can talk about it like that. But the Boston Celtics started off hot yesterday. We saw Jason Tatum telling the Cavaliers to get on out of here. I saw Twitter going crazy, how they were smacking Cleveland by 20 plus in Boston. They were going absolutely insane to start. But it didn't hold on, man. They couldn't hold on. Cleveland came back. Arguably the best coach in the league right now is on Cleveland's side. Dude's been absolutely killing it. He's given them so much confidence, whether it's Garland, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, Jared Allen. That whole team is playing out of their minds for Mr. Atkinson, and I love to see it because Kenny Atkinson was a coach for my Nets. I used to be a Nets fan, if you guys don't know. Still am, which is actually a really funny thing we'll talk about as we see the Nets are 11th in the standings, which is actually way higher than they should be. But that's a whole different combo that we'll get to. But shout out to Cleveland. Like I said, they're on a 9-game winning streak. There's a team that's on a 9-game losing streak that's in this conference as well. Most of the teams are really we're starting to see teams rev it up, right? Because this is basically the squads moving forward. If you're fully healthy, this is what you hope is gonna be your postseason squad. You're figuring out rotations. You're figuring out you're shrinking them, right? At this point, you're seeing guys that are maybe staying in the G League. You're seeing who's moved up. You're seeing whether they're going to 8-man, 7-mans. Guys are getting their confidence, their flows. After All-Star break, this is where it's all about. The New York Knicks have been playing pretty well. You got Boston's been playing well too. They just really... Oh, man, absolutely disgusting game yesterday. Plus, they lost their last 2, right? So Cleveland was one of them. You got Milwaukee stepping it up slowly but surely. Indiana. Detroit is 8-2. They lost their last game, but I think they won 8 right before that, which is really crazy. They had an 8-game winning streak in Detroit in 2025. This is the team that was one of the worst teams in the NBA, a laughing stock, and now they're 6th in the East. They have a shot at 4th. They're only a game behind Milwaukee and Indiana, who are both tied for that 4th, 5th spot. And honestly, Detroit, man, these young guys, that's always the case. When you have a young team, they have nothing to lose. Literally, you could say the same thing about, Orlando, who's in the 8th slot. If you face one of these guys in the postseason, you're going to be scared because they're young, they're hungry, they want to prove themselves, and they literally have nothing to lose. So it's going to be really interesting. Miami, that veteran presence and pressure, all that. Now they got Wiggins there instead of Jimmy. But the Heat culture, they're hanging around 7th. We got Atlanta at 9th. They're sliding down. Chicago. The interesting thing here now is when you look at number 12, you see Philly, who is on the 9-game losing streak. Yes, Philly, which arguably has possibly the second, third, fourth best roster on the Eastern Conference, right? You got Embiid, you got Maxey, and you got Paul George. Everyone thought they were going to be a threat, thought they were going to be doing something, would be something, and they're down there under the Brooklyn Nets, who are the worst organization in history because they're supposed to want to lose to get a good draft pick, and they're bad at that too. They don't even know how to lose properly. Like some of these other teams, like Washington is a really great losing squad. They're 38 and a half games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, I'm thinking about that. With 20 games left in the regular season, you might be down 50 games. That's insanity. Insanity having a 10 and 48 record in the NBA. I'm sure that's depressing. I'm sure that's sad. And that goes a long way. What happens with Philly, they're definitely blowing this up. We're finally hearing reports about them trying to like kind of waive Joel Embiid and not pay him for the rest of his contract because he's missed so many games. I don't even know if that's realistic, if that's real talk. But at this point, they might as well try something because that is ridiculous. The fact that he's been missing so many games, in fact, with everything that's been going on, it's been so sad to see. And Paul George hasn't been what he's supposed to be. He said he's working on getting back. He's going to stop doing his podcast because they're trying to make a push. And it's not looking good for them because that's it. They're donezo, man. I'm pretty sure they said Embiid's not playing. So I can't even imagine what that actually turns out to be. I just realized there's a big glare because of my glasses. I apologize. I'll take that off so it doesn't distract you guys, even though I am blind, right? I am blind and I can't see. But it's okay. We'll figure this all out together. So the Eastern Conference, if it all ended today, right? If everything was over, you would have the play-in tournament with Chicago, Atlanta, which is nothing crazy, right? That's cool, whatever. But let's assume, I would say the 7th and 8th seed stay as usual, as it is right now. Miami would probably clinch either the 7th or the 8th, and Orlando would sneak in there as well. So you'd have Cleveland playing one of those teams. I'm sure Cleveland will take care of business. Same with Boston. They take care of business there as well. You got the Knicks and the Pistons. I know I said you don't want to see Detroit. I would, if I'm Detroit, I'm trying to move on up, man. I'm trying my best to avoid them right now just so I can get maybe I want Indiana maybe first rounds possibly instead of that. You don't want Milwaukee, New York would be really, really fun. Milwaukee, Indiana would be really fun too because of everything that goes on in that regards when they play each other. I really do think this is going to be one of the best postseasons that we've ever had. I don't know why, even though the season so far, the regular season, yes, we've had the drama of the trades and all that, but it hasn't lived up to par overall, I would say, right? Like, it hasn't been really exciting. Yes, that game, Luka versus Dallas, was the most viewed. We saw Steph drop 50-something the other night. We're seeing LeBron play at an incredible level. We're seeing this and that and so much crazy stuff. We're seeing insane dunks by players here and there. It's cool, but, like, overall, I feel like the season's been underwhelming. And that's why I think this postseason is going to step it up and take it to a whole nother level. And I'm here for it. Definitely here for it. Let's go ahead and move on over to the Western Conference, which in this case, I would say this is the better conference, right? If we're talking about NBA teams, this is where it's at. I kind of want to start from the bottom here because Utah's only 33 games behind the top seed. And I'm kidding, but OKC is number one out west, same way that Cleveland is so far ahead. It's looking the same way. I'm pretty sure both one seeds have got it locked. It's going to be really miraculous if anything changes. They're 9.5 games ahead of first, of second technically, right? They got that in the bag. You got Denver, Memphis fighting right now, plus LA snuck into that mix. Houston slid down. They were higher up, and this is where we talk about them hot teams, right? So Denver has won 8 of their last 10. LA's won 8 of their last 10. And OKC's won 8 of their last 10. So all 3 of those teams have been playing really, really well. LA just beat Denver, which really swung the tides a little bit. That actually makes you make up so much space and ground. LA's played the least games because of the fire that was going on. Same with, like, the Clippers. I think they have like a couple games under in general. Like, some teams played more. Like OKC, you'd see they played like a little bit more. And actually the Clippers don't seem like it because they played 59 games, which is the same as OKC. Right now LA's at 58, as I could see. I know there's like some teams like Denver's at 60. and stuff like that. So this is it. This is it. Last 22, 23, 24 games remaining of the season. And you got teams like Phoenix right now out of the play-in. They're literally out of the play-in. And they're like, that's insane. Imagine Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and we won't say Bradley Beal. So I'll just say Kevin Durant and Devin Booker not making the playoffs. Like, can you imagine? Then you got Minnesota hanging on for dear life right now. You got Sacramento battling for playing as well, 9-10. You got Dallas at 8 and Golden State at 7. This shows you how deep the West is. This is the Ja effect when Ja came back to Memphis this year, right? Jaren Jackson Jr. has been playing out of his mind. Houston's on the come up. We knew that team would have a bright future. We didn't know it would be this fast. So I know they've been sliding, but they're still in a great position overall. San Antonio, don't expect them to make a push without Wemby anymore. He's out for the season, which is great for them because they might get a really good draft pick, and this could help them in the future. Like, next year, they're going to be a problem. It's crazy that Portland's actually 27-33, which is really interesting because they're hovering. I don't think they make it anywhere, but that's a pretty good record for a team that shouldn't be winning. New Orleans Pelicans, they need to blow so much up. I know they got rid of Ingram and they're working on that stuff. Honestly, the bottom of the West, I don't expect too much to change from 12 to 15. Obviously, same way as the East. Like, nothing there should change. But that play-in slots are going to be insane to see down the stretch. I cannot wait. I cannot fathom what happens in Golden State. Are they going to move on up? Because right now, Golden State would have to play Dallas, which honestly, without AD, depends. It all depends on how AD looks and the rest of their centers, because Dallas got no centers right now. So I'm expecting those guys to come back. We see they're actually all tied right there with the Clippers as well. So that's a bunch right there. Like, they're fighting for slot. If I'm Golden State, I'm trying to push up to 6. I'd rather play 3 to 6 seed, right? You'd want to see Memphis if possible, even though LA could slide up, Denver could slide down. I don't know how this is going to end. This is going to be a roller coaster. The play-in this year is going to be insane. It's been insane. And one of the best things they've done to the NBA was adding the play-in, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of things we don't like about Adam Silver and what he's been doing, especially with like the All-Star game and little things of that nature. But the play-in's been absolutely amazing from start to finish. Like, since they added it, it's been one of the best things, most interesting, fun. Like, it just drives a lot. I think the in-season tournament's been absolutely insane as well. It's been really good, giving us games to watch early on in the season that mean something as opposed to not meaning anything. And it's been fun. It really has. So I'm excited. Let's say right now it ended right now, okay? If it ended right now, you got Sacramento, Minnesota, 9-10 game. I'm going to say Minnesota wins that game, all right? So Minnesota would win and have to play a second game. You got Golden State, Dallas. Like I said, right now, I'll take Golden State right now, assuming that AD's not playing or something like that. But if AD's playing and Dallas at full strength, I'm going to take Dallas, all right? So let's say Dallas takes a 7th seed. Or I don't know, but Dallas, Minnesota for the last spot would be sick. It would be sick. All right, so let's say Golden State somehow they'd have home court advantage, right? Let's say Steph drops 60, holds the night, does all that. I have a pen in my hand because he's gonna night, tell them to write notes and all that, right? And then so we say Dallas, Minnesota, and then somehow Anthony Edwards puts up 50. But it's not enough because AD blocks him at the rim for the game winner. Nah, something crazy like that would happen. So let's say it just ends where Golden State's 7, Dallas is 8, just so I don't have to assume anything, right? So it just is as it is, like the old format. That's kind of what I did with the other side, just to be safe. So OKC Dallas would be insane if Dallas was healthy. That would be insane. I don't care what nobody says. I know OKC is great and probably not going to be beaten. But I would love to see Anthony Davis there. I would love to see Kyrie hooping and like seeing what that team's got, figuring out, trying to figure that out. That would be so cool. Golden State against Denver would be fire. I would prefer much rather that LA slid up or like moved up / Golden State moved up because I would love to see Steph versus LeBron. I know it would be first round, but I prefer that over second because I doubt they'd. Like, I don't know. I don't see it really happening that they face off in the second. So I just want to see that matchup one more time before it's all over. But now there's Luka on LA. Ooh. LA, Dallas would be fun too. What if Dallas slides up, takes a seed higher, and plays LA. Wow, can you imagine Luca playing playoff games in Dallas? Holy, that would be the craziest thing. I'm not gonna make like predictions like that. I'm just super, super excited to see what the league or what everything just turns out to be. I really think it's gonna be a great, great finish. The Clippers have been balling. Houston, like I don't know. It's just I feel like teams are really, really starting to pick it up, starting to figure it out. And let me know what team you are and what your expectations are. Now that we have like 20 games or so left, are you expecting your team to go far? Are you expecting them to have a good lottery pick like me and the Nets? Like, I wish we had a good lottery pick, but we're not. We're not. We're probably going to have a bad one because we suck at everything we do, whether we're trying to win or lose. Are you a Philly fan? Are you a Dallas fan? Golden State? What is your plans? What are you expecting? What do you want to see? I'm hyped. I cannot wait. I'm still going to do a little podcast talking about the All-Star game this year. I still haven't fully watched the game itself. I've watched the dunk contest, the three-point contest. I did reactions on the other channel, so if you ever missed or want to see that, go ahead. And when I finish watching the actual game, I will give you guys my full intel. I know it sucked, one of the worst All-Star games we've ever had, and that's why I really want to discuss it and kind of bring out my ideas of what they should change or how they can fix this, because it's getting worse and worse. At this point, they might as well not even bring it back, which is something I would never say. Usually, I love the All-Star game, even if it's not good. I love the festivities. I love the idea. But at this rate, it's really just become something that's not it at all, and it's not as exciting. Like, I didn't even watch it this year. This year was one of the worst. They literally barely played. It was a way for the NBA to make more money, more advertisements, more this, more that, and that is not it. With all that said, though, I don't know, man. We have two really incredible teams out east, right? The two top dogs in the east, Cleveland, Boston. You can't really count out Milwaukee like that, even though their coaching staff is really bad. The Knicks, you never know. You never know. Anything is possible, legitimately. But I feel like the West overall is just tough, man. That Western Conference is dirty. You don't want to face off against OKC, Denver, LA, and then there's championship pedigree down the list with Golden State. Like, oh man, I mean, I guess that's really it. I mean, Dallas got it too. Minnesota's got to be coming. They got to be knocking on some kind of door sometime soon, man. Anthony Edwards, you never count that man out. You can't count out KD either. I expect Phoenix to make a push. I do. Bobo's been playing well. He kind of figuring it out for them. He looking like a my team Bobo. But we'll see where it ends up going. Let me know what's up with you guys. I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching.